last week's figures. Now, if you are new to the show, then this is where we do a run through of everything that was taking place on Rightmove with all agencies last week. So that's new instructed and sold subject included missives. Then we'll take a look at what we were doing as an agency. So properties we've accepted offers on, properties we've got coming soon, and also properties that are now completed over the line, and we can disclose what they sold for. And then we'll do a run through of the shows that have taken place just to give you an idea of what you want to go back and get some information from. So we'll start with the figures for last week. So this is all agencies that use Rightmove, and it's new instructed versus subject included missives. Now this is resale homes only, so this is not including any new builds. And actually, in fact, for the first time in a very, very long time, there was no new builds instructed last week. So there was no new builds made available in any of the micro regions. But this is your resale homes only. So straight away, you can see 143 properties went to market last week alone versus 136 properties showing as sold. And this is something we've been educating and telling people for a long, long time, that competition is just getting more and more as more properties come to market. You're going to see that, and especially when you look through the micro regions, for Cooper to have 21 properties instructed in 1 week is a big increase. That's not a number we've seen in a long time in Cooper. So a really high number for the KY1415 postcode. East Nuke is really low on numbers. To only have 2 properties instructed while also having 2 properties sold is also really low numbers for both, something we've not seen in a long time actually. But we do always say 1 week doesn't make a trend. Also as well, if you are watching this and you are really keen on the Fife property market, whether it be you are thinking of selling, you're perhaps on the market, or even if you're a buyer, last week's show, I did a roundup for the whole of June. So yes, we say 1 week doesn't make a trend, but actually if you go back and watch last week's show, I do a monthly roundup. So that gives you a better idea, because a month is a better idea to work from. St Andrews, 6 properties instructed versus 9 properties sold. So it's great to see 9 properties over the line. So more actually sold last week than what went to market in St Andrews, which is great, because I've been saying this week on, week out, that there's a lot of stock to work through. So it's great to see that obviously properties are selling. Leavenmouth, 14 properties instructed versus 10 properties selling. Obviously the Leavenmouth market is a strong market. Yes, there's a lot of options out there for obviously buyers, but likewise for sellers, there is plenty of buyers out there, and it is a market that is getting snapped up, and people really are having a positive impact on the market with the investment that was put into the area and the commuting links that are made available. We have had some brilliant results in the KY8 postcode with property selling in 2 weeks, in 2 days from social media. Especially if you go back and do watch last week's show, there was some brilliant results in that. Dunfermline is that market that outperforms out of the other micro regions, and you can't really compare it against that area because it does perform differently. Just with the price of property, you get a lot more for your money being this side of the bridge, but you can still commute to your bigger city. So that's why people naturally kind of head towards Dunfermline. And that's why the numbers are a lot higher. Glenrothes, 13 properties instructed versus 9 properties sold. And then Kirkcaldy, 29 properties instructed versus 34 properties sold. Kirkcaldy always does sit slightly higher, and there has been, and you can see that a lot of properties hitting the market just last week alone in Kirkcaldy, whether it be flats, whether it be some of the new builds actually reselling again. But there is a lot of stock coming to market within the Kirkcaldy area, but there's great affordability. There's all different price points, all different property types, but again, Kirkcaldy is one of those areas where people will naturally go to because you have literally got everything on your doorstep. Amenities, leisure facilities. You can obviously head down and you can walk right along the front. Obviously, you've got your commuting links via the bus station, via the train station. You really have got everything that you need on your doorstep. So it is always a popular one. So that is a run through of the micro regions and what is happening in the Fife market. If you have any questions on that, as I always say, feel free to put any comments and we'll come back to you if you ask them, or if you prefer to message privately, likewise, we are happy with that also. But let's do a run through now of what we were doing in particular as an agency last week. So we're going to start with our sold properties. So let's have a look. So our first one is in St Andrews. So we contributed to obviously the properties that sold and went over the line. So it was good to get this one an offer accepted because it is a higher price point. So higher price points do tend to take longer anyway because obviously the affordability. it's not there for everybody. Likewise, it is also in the St Andrews market where there is a lot of stock and it has been a slower market. So obviously it's been a bit more of a challenging one, but it is great to see that higher price point over the line. So this was a 3-bedroom townhouse and it was actually split over 3 levels and it was beautifully presented. It currently is being used as serviced accommodation, but it could be an ideal family home because you are right in the centre of St Andrews. And it is a great family space also. You've got like a living room, you've got your kitchen diner, you've got a bedroom as you go to the next level, and you actually got 2 bedrooms and a shower room, and then you've got this spiral staircase leading you to almost what would be your master. It's got Velux windows and it's just beautifully presented, and it really is an ideal home. Likewise, then the new owners are delighted to be moving into the area, into their home. This was on the market for offers over 550,000, so it isn't obviously your average kind of property price, so that's why it has taken slightly longer, but it is great to see some results over the line. And while we're in the St Andrews area, we're going to lead to our next sold, which is again is a brilliant result because we have now sold Brewster Place in St Andrews. So let me just give you an idea of what that one looks like. So this one, and it sold relatively quickly as well. It didn't take long. It's not been on the market long at all, and you'll maybe realize that if you do watch these shows, that it has had an offer accepted on it, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a 3-bedroom, spacious, semi-detached property. It's a sought-after location because you literally walk out of that front door and you are about a 30-second walk and you nip down a wee path and you are straight onto the beach, and then you can head right along the Fife coastal paths. You are right on the east sands, just around the corner from the leisure facilities, but likewise you can take a short walk down into the town centre where you have got everything you could possibly need. So it's a 3-bedroom, it's a really spacious property. You can see you've got a large driveway. You could easily extend as well, taking away the lawn area to extend the driveway. Internally, moving condition, ready to go. So it really was an ideal family home, and that is exactly why it has been snapped up, and it was on for offers over 345,000. Now, obviously, at this stage, we can't disclose what the properties have gone for because they need to go through the conveyancing. So this is where you need to keep watching the shows to keep an eye out. But it was on for offers of 345, and the family are absolutely delighted to be moving into the area. Likewise, the seller is delighted because they were actually using it, whether they did it for short-term let or long-term let, they did go between the two. So they're just glad to offload the property, help them on their journey. Likewise, the buyer's delighted to have secured a property. And obviously we're delighted because there is so much stock on the market that we're able to get a quick result and it keeps everybody happy. So that was great. So that was our solds for last week. So we'll now move on to coming soon. So this is where myself and Perry have been out to properties and they are coming to market with us. So we're coming soon. This is me giving you a heads up before the pre-portal. So the pre-portal is a preview of the property. Now we use a Facebook page for each micro region. So you've got the Cooper page, the East Neuk, the Leven, the Glenrothes, the Kirkcaldy, St Andrews, Cooper. We've got a page for each area. So wherever you're looking to purchase property, make sure you're following that particular Facebook page. Then you're looking for the agent space and the words pre-portal launch. That is your opportunity to get in there before anybody else. That is a preview and it's a full video walkthrough where we show you everything about the property externally, internally. We then discuss location and then we give you an idea of what the home report is expected to be coming in at. So you can then decide, does this property tick all my boxes? Is this my next home? And then if you are a cash buyer, so you're in a position to proceed and you can make the seller an offer that they just cannot refuse. So this is your best foot forward offer. It's your no regrets to secure that property and to stop it going to the wider market. And that is what a pre-portal is looking for, that hot buyer that is ready to act and give their no regrets offer. So look out for that and then do get in touch with us. Pick up the phone and get straight on the phone and we can obviously get you a viewing at the property. Likewise, though, if you are thinking, oh, but I'm not a cash buyer or my property's on the market or I've got a property to sell, still reach out to us. We're more than happy. Whatever your position is, we can guide you and we can work with you. So please pick up the phone. Don't be disheartened by that either. And we can still get you on the viewing list. And obviously, if they don't accept an offer, we can still get you through the door and get you viewing and help you with your next steps, whatever that might look like. But they're coming soon. So the first one is Methil Bray in Methil. And this is a 2-bedroom first floor flat. We've had some brilliant results recently of where they are an affordable price point, whether it be the 2 beds, 3 beds, and the flats, whether they're ground floor, first floor, they are getting snapped up because they appeal to so much of the market, whether it be landlords, investors, first-time buyers. So they do appeal to a lot of the market. So if a 2-bedroom first floor flat is something that you are looking for, make sure you act fast with this one because they do go quickly. We sold one on Kirkland not too long ago, and it was sold from social media. It was a brilliant result, so do not miss out. Next one is Priestfield Maltings in Pitlessie. So I am doing the pre-portal for this one on Wednesday, weather permitting. Obviously, we've had an amazing weekend, and then today it's not great. It's almost like we're back to the Scottish weather. We've been teased all weekend and all at tail end of last week, and now we're back to reality. So fingers crossed we've got the weather for Wednesday, and I'll be doing the pre-portal for this one. So it's in Pitlessie. It's in an ideal location. You've got the village lifestyle, but you're still close to all of your amenities. And it's a 2-bedroom ground floor flat, really spacious. But what is brilliant with this property is you're getting 2 parking spaces as well as your own private southwest facing garden. It's not, you don't share it with anybody else. It's yours, completely private, enclosed, which is a brilliant addition to be getting that footprint of a 2-bedroom ground floor flat, but getting all that additional outdoor space that comes with it. Plus, as well, you do get beautiful countryside views as well from this property. So it's not to be missed. Next one is Pitt Kirby Park in London Links, and this is a 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. And if you are looking for a bungalow, you know how popular these are, so you need to be proactive with this one. It's 2-bedroom as well, so it's going to be a great footprint. And obviously it's London Links. It's a desirable area, so this is where we know it is going to be a popular one. So you need to get yourself ready and make sure that you are following the relevant page. Perry will be doing the pre-portal for that one. Now, something else you can be doing, yes, do make sure you're following the relevant pages, but also call the office and we can get you registered on the system, so that way as well we can get you all, do our due diligence, get you registered, we can take down your requirements, and then that way as soon as we upload a property, you automatically get emailed the marketing. So if it does tick your boxes, you're going to know about it straight away. Just in case you've not checked Rightmove that day or Zoopla that day, or you've not got the alerts set up, then we'll automatically email you. So that's a brilliant option to do as well. So do call the office. Plus, obviously, the girls know, the team here know that the stock that we've got sitting, so they might be able to think of something straight off the top of the head that's going to suit you if perhaps you've missed it. So do take the time to call, register with ourselves, and then we can guide you. Next one is Hay Fleming Avenue in St Andrews. This is a 4-bedroom detached property, so it's going to be an ideal family home. 4 bedrooms, so brilliant footprint again, and obviously it's going to have everything. St Andrews, so it is a desirable area. We know that. Yes, there is a lot of stock, but it is a desirable area because you've got the university, you've home of golf, you've got the schooling, you've got obviously the cafes, the bistros, the restaurants, you've got everything. You've got the East End, you've got everything possible in the town. A 4-bedroom detached property as well is an ideal family home. So again, look out for that one on the St Andrews page. Then finally, you've got Campbell Crescent in Cooper. Again, a bungalow. So we're actually bringing you 2 bungalows, which is brilliant because they are like hen's teeth and they really are sought after. But this is a 3-bedroom detached bungalow on Campbell Crescent in Cooper. So if that is something that you're looking for and it's an area that you want to be in, again, act fast. Keep a lookout on the Cooper page, and Richard Cook is going to be doing this one, so look out for Richard, look out for the video, and act fast as it is something you want, because Cooper's a desirable area, especially being a little bungalow. It's not going to be around for long. So that is our coming soons. Now, if you have any questions on that, or you want a little bit of clarity on pre-portals and what that looks like, reach out to us, put it in the message, comment on this, pick up the phone, get in touch with us. I'm more than happy to speak with you. But let's look at what completed last week. So this is properties that we have accepted offers on, have gone through the conveyancing, and have now concluded, so we can disclose what they sold for. So the first one is a slightly different property type, but it is a property type that we do sell. If you're not aware, then please do reach out, and we do have people that were really interested in these properties inquired. So there is people on our books that really are looking for this particular property, because it's actually a lodge. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom seaside lodge, and it was situated on Sockhope Links Caravan Park. So right on the edge of Crail, right on the Fife Coastal Path. So brilliant location. I was actually there this morning valuing another one. So there's potentially another one coming to market. So if you are looking for a lodge in the East Snook, Fife Coastal Path, then do reach out, because there is potentially one coming to market. But this particular one was 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. As I say, right on the Fife Coastal Path. Spacious interiors. It had a patio, uninterrupted sea views, and it sold for 80,000. And what's great as well with these particular properties is you don't actually have to pay the additional dwelling tax on it for having a second home. They don't class it as a second home, so you don't have to pay ADS. So this is why they are a popular choice. If people want to have that second home lifestyle and be in the East Snook, you can go for a lodge and actually you don't pay additional dwelling tax. However, please note with these particular property types, you cannot get a mortgage on them, so you need to be a cash buyer. So do bear that in mind. And then finally, a next one that completed was 36 Main Street in West Weems. This was a 2-bedroom terrace property. Again, right on the Fife Coastal Path. Yeah, it's the opposite end, but it was right on the Fife Coastal Path. So again, stunning sea views. The new owners are absolutely delighted to be moving into their homes. Likewise, the seller is delighted because we actually got them 10,000 over the home plot value. So it sold for 250,000 and we got them 10,000 over, which is a brilliant result. So both parties are delighted and they're now enjoying their new home. So that is what we completed on last week. So before I head off and let you get on with your day, we will discuss the shows that are taking place. So of course, on a Monday, we've got Richard Cook, the Lettings Director, and Jim Parker, one of the UK's most successful property investors. They always go on hand live at 12 o'clock, and it's the Wealth Creation Show. And Monday's show was all about embracing the journey. Whether you are an entrepreneur, perhaps, or whether you are an investor, or someone who is just beginning to explore this world, this journey is all about mindset, resilience, and the real strategies that help you grow. And it's not just financially, it's personally and professionally. Success in business or investing doesn't just happen overnight. It's not about just chasing quick wins. Think about the long-term vision. You must learn to be comfortable with the uncertainty, to think beyond the next month or quarter. Patience, discipline, and adaptability, and those are the real assets. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs or investors think that they had some kind of secret shortcut, but what people don't often see from the outside is the years of failure, the learning, the rebuilding, the reinvesting, and it's all about embracing the journey. And it does mean accepting the progress that often sometimes feel a wee bit like a setback. If obviously that's something you're interested in, or even if you just want to obviously just listen along and comment and give some of your own insights or tips or anything at all, share your own life experiences. Yes, it was live on Monday at 12:30, but you can re-watch it. You can just watch the rerun, and again, you can still comment and they will come back to you. So that was the Wealth Creation Show. Next, you have a show that Perry and I did actually, and it was on Saturday we did this one, and this was a brilliant one, especially with the weather. It was going to be absolutely perfect because it was summer garden tips and how to inject instant colour, perfume, and a wee bit of life into your garden space, because gardens never look better than in the summer. Whether you're looking to maximise your sale price because you're actively going to go to market, or you're just simply savouring your home and enjoying the sunshine, there's nothing better than colours and full blooms and the fragrances that come with that, and then also the wildlife that you introduce into your space. If obviously you're not perhaps green thumbed, or you don't know where to start, or maybe you missed obviously doing your planting your kind of bulbs back in the spring, then Perry and I were on hand discussing on Saturday some brilliant tips, tricks, especially Perry. She's a keen gardener, so there was an amazing tips in there. So do go back and rewatch that one. And likewise, we would love to hear you, obviously your thoughts. If you have any hints or tips or little secrets and you don't mind sharing them, go back and comment on that one. We would love to hear. And then finally, another show that was taking place, and it was Perry and I again. We did Fife Homeowners Let Down and the silent scandal of estate agents overvaluing properties, because since January 2020, just over 6,000 homes were listed for sale but never actually sold. Whether it be in overpricing being the main culprit, we do see it happen. Even ourselves as agents, when we're going out and doing the valuations, we do hear obviously about overvaluing. Whether it be the inflated valuations, you lose time, your money, the momentum, it really does have a knock-on effect. So Perry and I, we discussed that in detail, and there were some brilliant statistics in there, and also some tips on how to avoid that and how to obviously perhaps interview your estate agent and make sure you really do back it up with facts. So do go back and watch that one if you are thinking of selling, if you're just curious in the market, or if you're perhaps on the market and you're not getting the results you were hoping for, then do go back and watch that one. So that was the shows that took place. We've done a run through of obviously what activity we've been doing, likewise what has been happening with all agencies across Fife last week. So that has been another Fife property market update. As I always say, if you have anything, put it in the comments, we'll come back to you. Likewise, we will see you through the week, but I will see you next week for another Fife Property Market update. All the best. Take care.